Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Sports Talk for You with Adam and Aaron. I am your host, Aaron Bell. Adam will be joining me here in a little bit. We are here tonight to talk about opening weekend of the NFL. A lot of surprises, a lot of big news, and a lot of interesting things happened over the weekend. First, let's get to Tom Brady. Tom Brady's first game in a Bucs uniform. He throws two picks. One was a pick six. He loses at the Saints 34-23, I believe is what the score was. I mean, it's a whole new system. He was with Tom Brady, or he was with Bill Belichick for, over 15 years. Now he's got to learn a new system under Bruce Arians, and Bruce Arians is known in his first year with quarterbacks to have his quarterbacks throw a lot of interceptions. I believe back in 1998 when Eli Manning was a rookie, he threw 28 INTs. Carson Palmer in Arizona, who was a veteran at the time, I believe threw 14 interceptions that year. So Bruce Arians' quarterbacks are known to throw interceptions, and let's not get carried away with James Winston last year, who went 30 for 30, 30 touchdowns, but also 30 interceptions. So Tom Brady looked a little bit rough. I mean, the guy is 43 years old. It was a shortened off season. Guys weren't able to really connect with each other and get the feel for the offense. So, I mean, Buccaneer fans can't be too scared yet. It's only the first game of the season. Stuff's going to happen. Brady's Brady. He'll get back to being Tom Brady. Another shocker, Michael Thomas in the Saints went down with an injury. He only had 3 catches for, I believe, 23 yards. So Michael Thomas is due to miss several weeks, and we are joined now with Adam. Adam, I don't know if you heard that news, but Michael Thomas now, I think it's believed to be a high ankle sprain, so he will be missing several weeks. What is this going to do to that Saints offense?
It's going to hurt it.
Because, I mean, they do have but Sanders ain't nowhere close to Michael Thomas.
No, and neither are the backups.
I mean,
what he brings to the table is
Cook will get maybe more targets. I mean,
sure. I mean, it's a crapshoot, man.
Well, I know they have that Taquan Smith kid. I think he's in second year, third year guy. So
I'll tell you this, because that's news to me about Michael Thomas. But here's the thing: I've done fantasy football since probably about 2010, 11. Yeah, let's say 2011. And I made a deal with myself after that 2011 season to never draft a Saint. Because the reason why is because Drew Brees always threw to the most random people every game. There was no set consistency, until Michael Thomas came to the Saints. And I expect it to be the old Saints where he would just spread the ball around and you can't pinpoint who's going to have a hot hand and who's going to have a sucky hand. So that's my whole theory about the Saints and life after Michael Thomas for these next few weeks. So it's sad that he got injured, but it's how it is. And, Drew Brees is a good quarterback, and, they'll always be in a game as long as he's the quarterback. They have a stout defense still, and, it's kind of that next man up mentality, because no one knew who Michael Thomas really truly was until Michael Thomas became Michael Thomas. Exactly. And people could say, oh, well, college, what have you. No, because there are college people who are high in college, but really are terrible in the NFL. Sorry, Baker Mayfield. Oh, excuse me. That's the quarterback.
Yeah, let's get to that. I mean, that was an embarrassing performance.
You're telling me.
They were out of that game in the first 10 minutes of that game.
Yeah, they were. And not only that, the thing that I'm disappointed in about Baker is, once their season ended, he went on some talk shows and said, it really starts with me. He was taking leadership. He was saying that he was not being the leader that he needed to be or making the throws. Well, it's the first game of a new season, and you do that. I'm sorry, that's just ridiculous. But, he still makes good commercials.
Well, it's going to show Thursday if he's going to bounce back or – I mean, Cincinnati's defense isn't really that great. So if he can't really do nothing against that Cincinnati defense, I mean, is it maybe time to move on from Baker? You giving him this is his third year now.
Well, it is his third year, but I've always thought, no team will truly make a quarterback switch until week 4, right after week 4. So,
I mean, it is
but
the
the thing
Cleveland
of it
Browns. Look how many
is,
quarterbacks they've gone through in the last
well, exactly.
7 years.
You got that problem too, but it's also too like, is your backup really better than your starter? And a lot of teams around the league, unless you're the Cowboys, sorry, did I say that? Um, don't really have a backup that is better than the starter,
Yeah.
unless you count Ryan Fitzpatrick, but he's a starter who should be a backup.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, is Tua really ready for the Miami Dolphins in prime time? Probably not.
Probably not.
Does he have the potential? Yes. Will he play this season? Probably. Because even Fitzpatrick had a terrible, time against the Patriots. But, it's the Patriots. So I guess everybody gives a, grace period if you play them. But anyway, yeah, that's just kind of my take, on just kind of around the league. I thought Uncle Rico did really well.
Oh man. And let's not forget Leonard Fournette said he has a real quarterback now in Tampa Bay who threw 2 picks this weekend, and then his former teammate goes for 3 touchdowns, 173 yards, and wins the game against the Colts. So Fournette better stop talking and saying crap. So
Yeah, and I thought Tom Brady kind of embarrassed himself. I'm going to be honest. I watched some of the first half, and then I
well,
had to
him and
turn
Mike
it because
Evans
I'm
were not on the same page. I don't know what it
no,
was.
well, none of them really truly were.
Like,
And I guess people will say, well, that's where preseason is. So tell me this. This is what I don't get. All right, I understand why people want preseason, but guess what? There's no preseason in college. So you better
exactly.
be on the same page
Well,
right
unless you're
from
Alabama, you have a couple preseason games before you get to conference. But
right, right.
but yeah,
But
no, I get what
they,
you're.
they always have one tough one and then 3 cupcakes, and then
Yeah.
it's like, oh, look at
But I mean,
them.
you can't tell me that pick six. I mean, God, everybody on TV saw that because he was staring down that receiver from the start of the snap.
Yeah,
That safety
and
jumped on that as soon as he read Tom Brady's eyes.
yeah, and the other thing that really shocked me, okay, and again, I didn't see the game. I'll admit to it, just because I lost interest in it in the first half, and I knew Tampa Bay was going to lose. Typically, with Brady, you could tell whether his team is either going to dominate or you have, the opportunity to beat them all within like the first quarter. And he A was not sharp, but B, the shocker of the whole thing was he never really used Gronkowski.
No, only two,
And
I believe 2 targets. That was it.
right. And you know what? Here's the deal. If you're struggling to an extent that Tom was, why did you not go to your security blanket?
Well, isn't that why Gronkowski went there? Because him and Tom have that relationship?
Oh, correct. And they
I
just
mean,
wanted out of New England. I mean,
yeah.
plain and simple. I
I
don't
mean, it's
know if
only
it was.
week one, so week
Well,
one is not
I
going to
get it's
determine the
week
season.
one, but
So.
it just didn't make any sense to me because when Tony Romo got in trouble, or even Dak Prescott, who would they throw to? Jason Witten.
Jason Witten, yeah.
It was always Witten, 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 and and for years in New England, it was always Grunk, Grunk, Grunk. Granted, Edelman, but Grunk, Grunk, Grunk. And now that Brady's in Tampa, struggling with Evans, Godwin, or is it Godwin or Goodwin?
Godwin.
We're not on the same page, but you should be with Gronkowski that you've played with for what, 10, 11 years? Just
Yeah.
saying. So
Now let's get to Joe Burrow, who looked very good in his debut against the Chargers defense. That's really not that bad. I mean, you got Joey Bosa on the defensive end. You got 2 outstanding corners for the Chargers. So, I mean, the first half was kind of ugly, but that's his offensive line. I mean, he was scrambling left and right,
right.
but
Well,
then he drives the ball, I think, 45 seconds to get a game-winning touchdown called back on an offensive pass interference, and then some reason his field goal kicker doesn't know how to kick a 31-yard field goal. So it's
and his face that he made
yeah,
after that was
it's already a
priceless.
GIF. So
Yeah, no, it was just priceless. But here's the thing with Burrow, in that game. I thought, he showed guts, showed leadership. There's no doubt about it. He's got the tools. His offensive line last year was the absolute worst offensive line in the NFL. Now, granted, they did address that in the draft. And, the offensive line guys are rookies, so you have to give them a few games to really understand it. Because let me tell you, not to change the subject, but that New York Giants offensive
Oh,
line
that was
is
terrible.
atrocious.
When Barkley only gets 6 rushing yards.
Correct. But here's the deal with Burrow. I think Burrow, they're going to win some games, and they're definitely going to win more than one game. Which did they win one game last year? I think they did.
Yes, they went 1-15.
It's definitely they're definitely going to double that.
Technically, they should have won already. They should have had one win already.
Right.
And they're going to beat the Browns on Thursday night.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. Because good old Baker Mayfield, for some reason, just can't be a quarterback. I think it might be a
Garrett
Browns
might take
curse.
his helmet off and hit somebody with it. So.
Yeah, but I predict Burrow will have a good game, whether they win or not. Depends on his offensive line. I mean, period. And then whether Cleveland wins or not really depends on Baker Mayfield. So it's like, they're both bad. It's like flip a coin. And you know what? If you pick the Bengals, I wouldn't be shocked. If you pick the Browns, I wouldn't be shocked. But here's the deal. The Browns have a better defense. Yeah. So already, with everything lined up against each other, the fact they have the better defense, I expect the Browns to win.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens, But Burrow did a great job against a good defense. And you know what? Anything's possible.
He will be a stud. A couple other upsets. Yeah. Cardinals go on the road, shock the 49ers. Nobody saw that coming. Of course, Kittle, I think, is questionable for this week with the nether hamstring.
Yeah, thanks, because I have him on fantasy.
Me too.
And let me tell you this. Outside of Kelsey, Kittle, maybe Font, who knows? There is no other tight end to replace him with.
Maybe Hunter Henry. If he gets the ball passed, Hunter Henry, if he gets the
I guess you could throw him in. But
another kind of surprising win. Chicago Bears coming back from 23-6, I believe, down in the fourth quarter to beat the Lions, and of course, the rookie DeAndre Swift misses the wide open touchdown pass that would have sealed the win for the Lions. So that was that. And now I know that we want to get to a topic that you have just been waiting to talk about. The good old $40 million quarterback, best in the league, Dak Prescott, losing at the Los Angeles Rams. I saw on social media everybody is blaming CeeDee Lamb for that bad route.
Sorry.
Clearly, the video shows the tight end cutting him off.
Exactly. Well, here's the deal. You look at that play again. Both of them were going vertical up the field. The tight end stopped, per se, kind of in the line of CD starting to make his cut. He kind of picked CD's man, okay? But the problem was the tight end didn't clear enough space. Typically, in my opinion, I'm not a football guru, but the thing of it was I would have expected him to go at least 5 yards and then Lamb rub off him. Because, let's get real. The play semi-worked. It just wasn't deep enough. But then at the same time, I'm like, why would you throw the ball to him?
I was going to say, you got to look off and maybe the tight end was open. You never know.
Yeah, maybe. But here's the other $1 million question. Why are you backing up an extra 8 yards?
At the line of scrimmage.
That makes no sense.
Here's another question. Why don't you feed the ball to Ezekiel Elliott?
Well, there you go. Because anything 4th and 3 or under should be a feed the ball to Ezekiel Elliott, who I believe was
giving play action screen pass.
Yeah, something. Just something. But you know what? To blame that whole thing on a rookie, I'm sorry. There are too many factors into that play. First off, this is why nobody trusts Dak Prescott. Period. And don't get me started how they were like, oh, but he won a playoff game and beat Russell Wilson. I got news for you. He used his legs, not his arm.
Exactly.
Okay. So there you go. That I'm just putting that to rest right now. Yes, you could blame the rookie. Okay. But the point is running the ball, with Ezekiel, you would have gotten the first down because he was averaging over 4 yards a carry. Okay. And not only that could have been your little safety valve, because I just don't understand how you can back up like 8 yards and make it a 4th and 11 pass instead of just like,
4th and 3.
you know, 4th and like 5. I
Well,
mean,
let's not get to the, Zerling missed that field goal. And
well, yeah,
why, and my thing is, why are you going for it? Kick the field goal and get the points.
right.
Game
I
went
mean, I get
overtime.
it. There was probably a point in McCarthy's head that said, well, gee, we don't really come down this far the whole game, which really technically they didn't.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, that didn't have any
Here's
trust in
the
your
deal.
defense,
Here's
though.
the deal. They have 3 number 1 receivers on any team. If each of them went to a different team, they would be the number 1 receiver on any team.
Yeah.
Okay. You have a top 4 running back. I'm going to say a top 3 running back. Okay. It is inexcusable to have 17 points.
Yes.
Period. You should be averaging in the 20s or 30s. Period. I don't care how good your
Chiefs are
defense
averaging
is.
20s, 30s.
Yep.
So
I mean, look at the Cardinals. Didn't they score over 20? And that was the
they scored
49ers
24.
defense.
Yeah.
And then don't get me started on the Dallas Cowboys offensive line who got tossed around like a rag doll by
Oh,
Aaron
yeah.
Donald. That was
Yeah.
embarrassing. I mean, he was
Well, let's not forget
one
pass
arm and he
interference
took
call.
2 players out.
Let's not
One
forget the
arm.
offensive pass interference call.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, but, it is what it is. I thought that was a bogus call. And you know what? Even if they were to review it, they'd never even turned over, the penalties
Well,
that
that's
were
why they
called.
took it away
They
this
never
year.
overturned them
Yeah, that's
last
why they
year.
took it
So it's
away.
like, do you honestly think this year they would have done it? Because, Ramsey flopped on that. He got burned by Gallup. And, the one time Dak actually makes a pretty
Nice
pass,
throw.
it's always, called back. But, it's more than just, scoring points. Dak's in an audition right now, okay, for a long-term contract. All right. And I'm sorry.
He's
Did
not
he
worth
prove
it.
anything to you? Because he didn't prove anything to me.
No,
I
definitely
mean,
not.
he hasn't the last couple
Twitter
years.
was going crazy about that. So
Yeah. So I'm just like, man, if you want your money, go out and perform. Okay. Go out and perform. Am I a fan of yours? Do I believe you can? No. Do I hope you can? Sure. But you know what? You definitely haven't proved it. And oh, by the way, his record is terrible against good teams with good defenses.
yes.
Okay.
Now let's not forget the top 3 quarterbacks. No, hold on. Top 4. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson, I believe, had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Mahomes had 3. Rodgers 4. Russell Wilson 4. 14 combined touchdowns between those 4 quarterbacks who are true, real quarterbacks.
Yeah. Who honestly, in my
with those
opinion,
numbers. You just don't see him with those numbers
no.
at all.
No, not at all. And you know what? Looking at their schedule compared to last year, you're not going to see Dak in the top 10.
No.
I mean, if he's playing the way he did against the Rams, he'll be lucky to make the top 12. I'm just going to throw it out right there and say it, And
Exactly.
watch. If we play one bad team, he'll throw for close to 400 yards. But anytime you need him to make a pass, anytime there's a good defense, nothing.
Yeah. So one last thing I want to get on. Do the New York Jets win a ball game this year?
That is a great question.
They look.
I honestly thought that the
offense.
Jacksonville Jaguars were the team that was kind of wanting to throw it
No, New
for
York
the season
Jets.
since they were trading everybody away. But you know what? Here's the deal. Other than Carson Palmer to an extent, I have never trusted a USC quarterback. They have all been absolute garbage.
Well, now Le'Veon Bell's out for the year, I believe.
Yeah, and you got Le'Veon Bell. So honestly, with the first pick of next year's draft, the New York Jets select Trevor Lawrence.
So, yep. So again, I mean, a lot of upsets this week, a lot of non-upsets, kind of things the way we expected. Mm-hmm. Thursday night, we got Cleveland, Cincinnati. I'm picking Cincinnati. By the looks of you, you're probably going to go with Cleveland.
I mean, the paper says Cleveland. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, they have the better defense,
I'm just a
but
Burrow fan already, so I'm going to go with
right, right. But you know what? If Burrow wins, it's not going to be shocking. And oh, by the way, Odell Beckham will probably get shipped out after week 2 or week 3.
exactly.
But I mean, this is just ridiculous. He's got a top 5 to top 10 running back in Nick Chubb, not to even mention Kareem Hunt, who's being used in a different role.
Yeah.
Okay. You have Odell Beckham, you got Javaris Landry, and I don't even know who their third wide receiver is, but you know what? It's not terrible. But to have this performance is just like, really?
Yeah, it's bad.
You were a Heisman winner. Let's not forget, a Heisman winner. And this is how, I'm sorry, you're no better right now than Matt Leinart and the butt fumbler. And, I'm just
Exactly.
like, ugh.
So, but
I
yes,
mean,
and then let's not forget Sunday night Super Bowl rematch between Patriots and Seahawks. That'll be a great game to watch. Chiefs
oh,
Chargers.
by the way, Russell Wilson looked real good.
Yes, he looked like an MVP quarterback that's winning the MVP this year.
It's interesting. It's interesting because I traded Tyler Lockett, and I saw what's his name, Metcalf, had like 100 yards and a touchdown. I was like, oh, I feel bad for the person that I traded Lockett to. Then I look and he had 100 yards per se
Yeah.
or
So
close to it. I'm just like, good heavens.
Russell Wilson
Russell
doing Russell
Wilson
Wilson
is
things.
I think Russell Wilson is going to win the MVP for the NFC or
Yes.
all of football if they don't split it up
So
the way that they do. But
we will have those big game coming up. Las
mhm.
Vegas, New Orleans next Saturday, next Monday night. Sorry. So next Tuesday we will have another show for the second week of the NFL. Um, I'm expecting my Chiefs to win. Cowboys at Atlanta. Cowboys need to beat Atlanta to get some confidence going. So
Yeah, or else they're going to find themselves 0-3 real
yes.
quick.
So we will see how this all turns out. Go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you guys next time.
Thanks.